Right, so this is not the type of game you're supposed to speedrun because this is supposed to be an interactive comic or something, but enjoy this, so I'm going to speedrun it now. Here. It is very dark here. Hardly anything can be seen. Turn on the damn lights. Unfortunately, it's too dark in here. It's hard to tell where the lights are. Search pockets. It feels like something's metallic with a rubber grip, but there's no lighter, matches, or flashlight. Walk over the red thing. As near as you can tell, the little red light is only a foot or so away from your face. Reach out and grasp for the red light. Ah, there we go. Ruby can see now. Examine that thing we found in her pockets. Apparently, it's a hand-turned can opener. Grab the hand under the ceiling of the cell. A row of small mesh holes open in the wall, bending in the fresh air. Yell, is anyone here? Is anyone there? Ruby yells, but there's no response. Her voice echoes in the small room. Attempt to tap into her latent vampiric powers to see if she has a high enough level of protein to turn into mist and escape the cell through the mesh wiring. Sadly, Ruby has no vampiric powers. Press every button she can find. Ruby gets the feeling that pressing all the buttons will probably be a bad idea. There are buttons of multiple colors. Which one should she try? For the hell of it, purple. Sweet success. Ruby presses the purple button and the button of the cell suddenly opens up to cool, clean air. Get out, look around. Ruby surveys her surroundings. There are no doors here except for a portal on the north wall of this room. Unfortunately, there are metal shutters over the door. Search the trash can in the back. Ruby tries her best, but the lid of the bottle refuses to be pulled from its base. It won't open. Check the shelves. Do you mean the metal shutters? They're blocking the portal to the north. Look for a way to open that other cell. The cell locker coffin on the ground has a latch on the outside, but it's sealed with what appears to be a digital lock. There's no obvious way to undo the lock from the locker itself. Use can opener or can thing in the back. The barrel lid comes up with a can opener tenacious efforts. Inside, there's a few small lengths of bare electrical wire, but nothing else. Chill wires. Ruby steals a piece of wire in her inventory. Get a lot out of all Ruby's abilities, general knowledge, and physical capabilities. Ruby has no magical or otherwise extraordinary powers. She has no knowledge of where she is or where she got here. And though she is not a specialist and holds no particularly special knowledge, she is reasonably competent with things most people would be. Her physical capabilities are varied. She is limber, in a good shape, but not particularly strong. She is currently carrying can opener, bare length of wire. Chew on wire. Ruby is about such primitive practices as chewing on wire and cannibalize her young if she had any. And besides, that would not be productive right now. Slick furiously. Ruby has slightly better concerns at the moment. Slightly, but besides, there could be hidden cameras around. Check the terminal next to the door. It will appear these controls are out of order, but even Ruby can tell this looks like an easy fix. Firstly, one of the wires is missing. Splicing it back together. Splicing it back together will be easy to do with the bare length of wire Ruby found. Will be easy enough with the bare length of wire Ruby found. Then there are connectors at the back of the control panel itself, so it will need to be screwed back into place. Can we open the trap at the back left corner but not go down yet in case there's no ladder? Unfortunately, it's the other way around. There's some kind of access shaft in the corner of the room, complete with ladder set into the wall, but it's barred off and Ruby can't lift it. Move the remains of the bar to one side, see if anything lies under it. Ruby tries to shove the big barrel aside, but her physics is just too admirably girlish. It won't budge. Create a saw using the barrel pieces, grabbing the handle with the bare electrical wire. Attempt to saw it through the bars. Not only will a saw made of razor-sharpened barrel metal and bare wire be incredibly dangerous to use in any way, it certainly wouldn't have the durability or control to cut through these bars, which appear to be stronger metal than the bar anyway. You do get +1 ingenuity for your idea, though. Attempt to fashion a crude screwdriver using the bar shards and either the handle of the can opener, if it slides off easily, or by showing off the part of the currently worn clothing. Ruby sees where you're going with this. Is Ruby wearing panties today? Yes, a quick check verifies she got her underwear accounted for. intended to remove an extraneous piece of clothing for the sake of hand protection. Ruby doesn't have enough clothing on for anything to really be considered extraneous. Check the terminal situated on the wall behind the burrow. The digital code appears to be waiting for command. Enter command open locker. That seemed to do something. A soft click comes from the other locker. While we're at it, enter command sound horn. The console doesn't appear to recognize that command. Enter open door. That got a response, but unfortunately the results weren't what Ruby hoped for. Open the locker. Ruby takes the two small coins off the top of the locker and pockets them. She opens it up to find there's no one inside the locker. Instead, all that's inside is a pair of rubber gloves. That's a lot of evidence pointing to that slinking session. Heavy rubber gloves don't make for very enjoyable slinking. Enter open access shaft. It's asking for a code. Don the gloves, fix the terminal with a wire, and screw it together using one of the coins. A brilliant idea, especially since it negates the possibility of electrocution. Ruby sets to work splicing the door panels wire back together. Inspect the coins. The two coins seems to just be ordinary looking quarters, but the edges make functional screwdrivers for the flat head screws in the panel. Ruby screws the repair panel back in place, and the up arrow button lights up green. Press the green button. Here goes nothing. Ruby presses the button. The metal shutters start to lift. Oh, it will appear that Ruby is underwater. Push down arrow. The down arrow still isn't lit and doesn't respond to being pressed. Take off gloves, reach out, touch the water. Thankfully, there is a big glass window separating Ruby from a horrible drowning death. Enter open access shaft 017. Using the number on the plaque outside as a reference, Ruby attempts to try opening the bars to the access shaft via the computer terminal once more. Look outside. See how far it is to the surface. Also, see if any predatory fish are visible. The water is murky. Ruby can see neither the surface nor any details of the sea on the sea life swimming past the glass. Climb down. Hope something reaches a shaft curve from below. Ruby descends down the access shaft ladder. Congratulations, you escaped the first room. Ruby descends to the access hatch and comes upon a new room. There's lots to see here. Say hello. Ruby introduces herself and says hi. The prisoner introduces himself as Tom and says hi back. He doesn't seem particularly chatty. Asks Tom how long he's been here and what he knows about this place. Tom won't say how long he's been here. Just that he woke up in the cell and hasn't gotten out since. He seems interested with this particular line of questioning and returns to contemplating his little sculpture. Walking to the grid. It's just a metal grating, carved punking into the shape of a keycard inserted into slot. Unfortunately, you are not slowly enough to figure out how to do this. What be that in the fish tank? The fish tank seems to contain, along with the fish, a tiny treasure chest for decoration. Ask about the statue. Tom explains that this is his opus. That the room is boring. It appears to consist of a tin can, a letter opener, and a metal plate with screws on its four corners. Any of the fish look dangerous? The fish are all quite tiny, and as far as Ruby can tell, none of them are sharks. And what is that grate below the tank? It appears to be another sort of access hatch, this time with metal shutters over it. It's labeled C hatch, and just underneath where that's written there's an empty space with 4 holes. It looks like something used to go there. Ask about those round things in the wall next to him. Tom explains that the 5 things on the wall are very functional. Have very functional buttons, but so far he's only tried pressing the middle one. Examine that upside down flower light water sprinkler thing about Tom. It's some sort of switch that can be pulled, but it looks like it's out of reach. Use can opener to cut through the fence. The grate is thin, but given that it's a cell, the metal is clearly very strong, and unlike the barrel, it's not worn. The can opener will have no chance against it. Grab treasure, then dump aquarium on Tom. The fish tank is bolted to the pedestal it's on. which in turn is bolted to the floor. But the little treasure chest is coming with Ruby. It gets added to her inventory. A little wet, it's about the size of her hand. Open treasure chest. It refuses to open. It must be locked. Get plate, a screwing plate. Tell Tom to press buttons. Fiercely, Tom refuses to hand over the plate with the funny numbers on it because it's part of his opus. Secondly, he couldn't pass it through the small openings in the grate even if he wanted to give it to Ruby. And thirdly, Tom tells Ruby that when he pressed the middle button, he was electrocuted. He hasn't pressed any of the others, and he will refuse to press any of the others until he's confident that they won't result in another near-death experience. Lastly, he has no clue what the overhead hedge does. He's never seen it open. Remind us, what is Ruby's current inventory? Ruby is carrying 2 coins, a can opener, a pair of rubber gloves, and now a tiny treasure chest. Tell Tom that you don't believe him unless he presses another button. Tom pouts and says that's fine because he doesn't trust you either. Examines the hatch. It's a small pattern in the north wall. Ruby might be able to fit through if she crawled, but it's a moot point since it's blocked by a metal shutter. Hand over gloves. The gloves won't fit through the grate. Try prying opening the chest with the coins. No luck. There's not enough of a gap to pry it. Ask him what funny numbers is on that metal plate. Tom says he doesn't trust you now and he won't tell you the magic numbers on the plate. Maybe getting him to the Slaggy was a bad idea. You're probably going to need those numbers. Offer sexual favors for his cooperations. Tell him you'll sex him up if he cooperates. That seems a little extreme. Ruby's not very eager to just give up her body for some stranger to ravage, just so she can get a few numbers, especially if there's an alternative. And anyways, she's shy. There must be a way to win over the cat that's not quite so embarrassing. How about Ruby just flashes him with her teeth? Oh no, furtherly, for all parties involved, Ruby is flat as a board. That probably won't work. Give that cat a fish. Ruby slips Tom off the small fish as a gesture of goodwill. He's hungry, so he accepts. Apologize to Tom and mention nonchalantly that you were jealous of his epic opus. Feeling a bit calm by your offering of fish, Tom graciously offers to rotate the piece to face you. Go upstairs and enter open sea hatch 211 into the terminal. Sure enough, Tom's code seems to work, and the system accepts the function. Climb back down. Tell Tom you'll see where the hatch goes and crawl through it and try to come back to him. Climbing back down, Ruby finds that the sea hatch is now open. Just on the other side of the wall is a small room. Ruby tells Tom she'll be right back. Tom nods absently in reply. Crawl through the hatch. Ruby gets on all fours and crawls through the hatch with a rather suggestive series of movements. But since that's boring, let's just skip ahead to the part where she emerges into the room at the other side of the wall. You know what amazed me? No, I just wanted to read that. Explain what each button seems to do. Ruby has no idea what each button seems to do. Perhaps you should interpret. Take diagram of buttons and give it to Tom. It looks like there was something behind the diagram. Inspect what looks like a safe on the wall in this room. It's some sort of metal cabinet which is locked up with a padlock. Take down picture of fish. It looks like an eye actually. Look through what looks like a grate in the door to the left of the room. The slot in the door is closed and appears to be open only from the other side. You bring the diagram to Tom. He is already starting to trust you. And with the added incentive that only one electrocution symbol is present on the diagram, you manage to convince him the other buttons will not administer shocks. It's time to choose. What button should Tom press? Button 1. Tom hesitates. Standing close to the grate, then presses button 1. Not that for a moment, considering the diagram could have been coded based on the key sequence listed on the wall panel by the fish tank. Luckily, that doesn't seem to be the case anyway, but nothing appears to happen, except that the button sinks into the wall just like the electro button did. For a moment, there seems to be a faint, distant beep. Check the aforementioned panel. In actuality, the panel seems to be some sort of card reader. It has 3 lights all red right now. Oh shit, I just got it. I know what just happened. Go back upstairs. On returning to the first room, Ruby notices something's changed. Press the down button. Ruby presses the down arrow button, and in far corner of the room, another hatch opens up. Looking down, Ruby sees that the shaft leads straight into Tom's cell, but there's no ladder, so it is flipped. Have Tom press button 2 now. Ruby calls down to open shaft and tells Tom to press button 2 now. Tom presses the second button, which causes the metal shutters onto the C hatch to shut immediately. Tell him to press button 2 a second time. Thus, Tom presses the button again and the hatch slides open. Check inventory. Ruby is covering 5 items at the moment. Examine all the symbols closely. Try and combine each of the items with each other in any and all ways that will not destroy any of the items. Using one coin, the rubber gloves, the tiny chest, and a piece of bottom diagram, Ruby fashions together the Junkatron missile launcher. This baby could break through a steel wall. No, wait, they don't. Too bad. I thought you were really onto something there. Help. The help and information prompt is markedly unhelpful. The system seems to be local, rather than connected to any external source, which means no internet. Let's try to reach for the lever now. Unfortunately, the shaft is too far to reach the lever from above. Drop the can opener down the chute and have him open the can. Look below. Tom sets to work, opening the can. Success. Tom completely mangles the tin can beyond anything usable. The tin can beyond anything usable due to his incompetence in operating a can opener. But from the inside the sealed can, he recovers an access card. Have him toss up the card and the letter opener. Despite Tom's impressive and manly physique, the card has too much air resistance because of its shape and refuses to be tossed up the shaft. Toss it to the edge so it goes into the wine, Tom. Duh! It's no use. The access card can be thrown that far with the fluttering useless out of the control. The letter opener, on the other hand, sails through easily. Can be thrown fully easily. Open up the treasure chest using the letter opener. Unfortunately, there are still no cracks in the treasure chest big enough to pry anything in. It's sealed flush. Can he throw the panel with 4 screws up? No problem for someone with such a manly physique. Wire plants. Sadly, there's not nearly enough wire left in the bottle to make a cordon. Even less considered, they'd have to be twisted together well enough to hold. Even with the cannibalized circuit panel, there wouldn't be enough. Okay, it's obvious there's a way to get the car There's a way to get the car out without using a method of drawing. So let's go for something useful. Useful stuff in the C hatch room. Wisely giving up on this poorly imagined line of thought, Ruby instead descends back to explore the lower levels more. Now armed with a heftier inventory. She waves to Tom, whom she is happy to see is still alive. A stereo played back. Ruby decides to replace the nameplate before exploring the C room again. Despite the fact that there are no visible mechanisms. However, once the plate is replaced, an access card emerges out from the hidden slot on the fish tank's pedestal. Use access card in the slot. The card reader eats the card. It's gone. In response, one of the lights turns from red to green. Go into the next room and examine again. Ruby re-enters the C room. Something seems different. Say hello to whoever's behind the door. Ruby attempts at conversation are futile. The eyes stare coldly and silently from behind the slot in the door. Examine couch. The only interesting thing about the couch is how remarkable it is. It doesn't even have distinct cushions to rifle through. Try to remove the eye. Use the letter opener. Pry the frame. To pry the frame, Ruby fiddles with the letter opener, and in doing so finds out that it fits perfectly into the empty pupil of the eyeball painting. It locks into position. How about that? A soft click comes from the door. Open the door, fair enough. Go into the closet, halfway of that. It's a small closet, not much room inside. He reeks of lead, but at this point, What choice does Ruby have? I don't need to read that, but I think it's funny. Run! Ruby flees the room as fast as she can, but the monstrous thing is hot on her heels, snaking after her. Shut the hatch! As Ruby enters the room, she shouts at Tom to press button 2 again, and fast. Tom is already in a confused panic after hearing the nerdy screaming. Tom presses the button. Head back into the steer room. Tom opens the hatch just to make sure the monstrous thing is dealt with. No signs of movement come from it or the room beyond. There is only silence. Inside the small closet is a ball of string. Ruby takes it with her. There's something gold in the remains. Pick it up. It appears to be a teeny tiny key. Use it on the tiny treasure chest. Use it on the tiny treasure chest. It clicks open softly. There's an access card inside. Use the string to retrieve keycard now. Ruby heads back into the room with the cell. Ruby calls down the instructions and then lowers the string. Tom ties the card to the end and Ruby pulls it back up. Tom asks Ruby to let him out. Tom really wants to come out. Tom says he's scared and he's trapped. Tom asks Ruby to please let him out now. Let him out. Ruby uses the 2 remaining access cards on the reader, promptly turns green for all 3 lights. Hug him. There we go. That was Ruby Quest Chapter 1. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm kind of thirsty right now. I'm going to see if I can submit this to speedrun.com.